Have you ever wondered how the entire infrastructure of Formula One can move from here?
He's got him on the exit! Oh, brilliant stuff!
To here, in less than a week.
We're going to follow the incredible logistics journey from Austin to Mexico City.
And give you the inside track on how F1 and DHL pull off the biggest doubleheader in sport.
Unfortunately, no time for sightseeing as the story of this doubleheader starts in the thick of the action here in Austin. We're already 20 laps into the US Grand Prix, and that is the sound of a sellout crowd going wild for wheel-to-wheel racing.
The crowd roar their approval. That was absolutely brilliant.
Races 19 and 20 form the penultimate doubleheader on this season's calendar, and the task of shifting the entire circuit infrastructure 1,500 kilometers south in just under 5 days presents a unique challenge for the teams at F1 and DHL.
He's got him on the exit! Oh, brilliant stuff! Verstappen, with better traction, just moves ahead. Max Verstappen wins the United States Grand Prix.
There's no substitute for speed and precision in Formula One. Just ask Max Verstappen, what a race from him, clinching his second win here in Austin. But as the checkered flag falls on the racing, the work for the pack-down teams is only just beginning, and speed is of the essence.
Speed is crucial. You've got what's normally a 10-day window before the race weekend. It turns into like a 2 or 3 day window.
Absolutely everything we do is measured against the stop clock, be that over a single lap in qualifying or cumulatively over the course of a race distance. We're consistently chasing that final 10th or 100th, so speed is king. Any race car will go quicker with more power, more downforce, less drag, less mass. Each track has its own sensitivities to each of these, which means that we're able to pitch the car's performance envelope according to the weightings for each circuit. Because there's such little margin for error, it's an adrenaline rush every time we go racing.
It's a hell of a lot of kit to move in what's a 3-day race weekend. There's precision loading with the cars. Everything is packed up and shipped as quickly as possible and as accurately as possible. It's critical to the F1 movement. It puts a lot of pressure on the guys, but touch wood, we always seem to get it done.
Just a few hours after the race here, and the celebrations continue for Max. Meanwhile, the paddock and pits are a hive of activity. D-Rig teams are working against the clock to pack down more than 1,000 tons of equipment. Much like the well-oiled execution of a team pit stop, every role is crucial.
In our team, you'll never feel alone in any situation. We move over 800 tons of air freight from destination to destination. It is a bit of a mantra. We have that energy, invincible determination to get everything done and done precisely as well.
A huge amount of people you've got to choreograph for a very short period of time. You see maybe 1 or 2 stops per car per race, but actually over a race weekend looking at 30 to 40 stops in session and out of session. You've got to have trust in your team, you've got to have trust in the people behind you and in front of you in the pit lane as well. It's key for us to get those guys physically and mentally ready for stops.
If you can't laugh in this job, you're in the wrong industry. At the end of the day, I mean, we're going to be friends for the rest of our lives. When you've got that particular type of team working with you, you can achieve anything. This isn't a job, this is a way of life.
You've got to have a bit of time to have a bit of a laugh with the guys and make sure you're kind of not high pressured for all that time, because for an hour and a half, having that level of pressure, you've got to be able to just smile a little bit. If you watch a pit stop, 2.5 seconds or anything below that, in real time, I think you can definitely call it artwork. It's impressive.
Outside the confines of the circuit, freight is transported by land, air and sea, a global effort that is matched in complexity by the television coverage that broadcasts all over the world.
This is our Media and Technology Centre. We have one of these here on site at the racetrack, and we also have one at our base in Biggin Hill in Kent. Currently we're about 160 territories, and that's covered between 60 and 65 broadcasters.
What is really thrilling about the common values we have in place, Formula One and DHL, is that we're truly a global brand. We are globally activating and we have a global presence. Delivering the race between the races, full stop. It is one of the basic measurements and KPIs for our job in logistics as well.
Formula One's quite a complex sport to cover. There's about 60 cameras all in. Everybody thinks that their piece of content is the most important and should be out in the world feed. So you're really just choosing what you think the fan should see and what's the best way of telling that story.
The drivers on track must stay locked in for a combined race distance of over 600 kilometres across the double header. So focus is imperative on both the highway and the circuit.
It's a state of mind. It's where we kind of are in our flow state. Before I get into the car, it would be about noise-cancelling headphones, going through the lap in my head, what I want to do differently from the previous session, and getting that disconnect from all the distractions, the stuff that, you know, makes us a Formula One driver, which is all the media, the marketing, and everything like that.
Driving a big truck, I think music is the most important thing. You know, you have a good playlist if you got a long distance drive. I love it. We had to make sure the equipment arrive on time. We drive it for hours, about 2 hours, and we change over. But we keep talking to each other, you know, keep concentrating where we're going.
Just at one with the car, and you're only thinking about driving, and as soon as the lights come on, it's almost like a wake-up call for your brain. Just drive fast.
Every part of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez is buzzing with activity, and behind the scenes, the drive to achieve greater efficiency and sustainability in the sport continues apace.
Formula One issued their sustainability strategy in 2019. It had 3 key goals: to be net zero by 2030, to host sustainable events, and to have a more inclusive sport and world around us. We need partners like DHL on that road with us who understand the distance we travel, the mode that we travel, and the amount that we travel.
Currently we have 28 new Boeing 777s. They have a 17% reduction on emissions over legacy aircraft. And therefore, this is one big contributor when we talk about sustainability improvement and emissions in air freight.
Formula One's goal is to have our cars be sustainably fueled by 2026. How we can improve the technology that gets us all around from point A to point B, which is equally incredibly important.
It is really teamwork between Formula One and DHL, because sustainability also means we need to be able to sustain.
Incredible couple of weeks of hard work behind the scenes has led us here to the pit lane in Mexico City.
What a pleasure it's been to hear from F1 and DHL's unsung heroes off the track who work so hard to ensure that the on-track action takes centre stage.
Speaking of, let's go racing.
It's lights out and away we go. Verstappen has got the start that he wanted.
Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to be race engineering for a World Championship winning team.
Always loved that sound more than anything. It was the sound, you know.
Customers are happy, you know, you look at their face, they're smiling.
I love F1, and then being able to make my hobby a career is just something I really enjoy.
And he's diving down the inside and they are going to touch.
An incredibly exciting place for me because we can have impact and action for sustainability as well as sport.
That was very nice indeed.
Always wanted to be in Formula One since I was 5 years old. Nothing was ever going to stop me.
That constant challenge is great. Just as you think things are getting a little bit calmer, there is always something around the corner.
It is victory here in Mexico City for Max Verstappen.
What's exciting for me is when I can stand back and look at everything that's been put down. We've done this, you know.